time. Well, President Bola Tinubu is indeed faced with a plethora of problems. On the one hand, he faces pressure over the dire economic situation across Nigeria. Now, the cost of living continues to soar beyond the reach of the average Nigerian. And there's a dire food crisis that requires an immediate solution. Well, protests springing up gradually from one state to another over the rising cost of living and the daily increase in the cost of the good old dollar. On another front, there's the issue of the growing menace of insecurity plaguing Nigeria. Well, on this, the federal government and 36 states have finally agreed that state policing is the way to go to put an end to the sickening state of insecurity across the country. Indeed, it's a handful for President Tinubu. Well, for more on the state of the nation, I am joined by Senator Musiliu Obanikoro, former lawmaker representing Lagos Central. He was the High Commissioner to Ghana and also served as Minister of State for Defense. Thank you so much. Good to see you on Arise Prime Time.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
And I'm wondering which of the caps really to start with. I mean, as Minister of State for Defense, you would have a lot to say about the state of insecurity in Nigeria. Maybe that's where we should start from before we talk about food, because I mean there seems to be a nexus between the state of security and the fact that Nigeria unfortunately cannot feed herself now.
Thank you for inviting me. Let me say that all these issues that you've spoken about, they are all interwoven. They are all related. Be it security issue, be it the food. But on the issue, there is no scarcity of food in the country now. What we are dealing with is the capacity to purchase. We are dealing with poverty. And when you look at poverty is multidimensional. We have a situational poverty, which we have now. We have generational poverty. It has been with us for some time. We have selective poverty, which is very subjective, and there's urban. There are so many poverties that we are contending with in Nigeria today. But the most important aspect to me is that we should not unduly cast aspersion on people for a situation that we as a people we saw coming.
When you say we should not cast aspersions on people, I mean who is casting aspersions on who now?
I watched a program here.
Are you saying Nigerians are necessarily
No, I'm not talking about Nigeria. No. See, if you are in pain, if you are in pain, you must cry out.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the help will not come as quickly as it should come. But for people, I was watching your TV maybe sometimes last week. One of Professor Usman came on board and started saying all manners of stuff about Asiwaju being incapable of doing this or that and that. You see, when you have a leader who is bold enough, even when his aides make mistakes and is bold enough to own it, then you know that's a leader. He said the buck stops at his desk and is prepared to do the hard work.
And he said Nigerians should not pity him because he asked for
absolutely
for this job.
And,
but there seems
and
to be a sense.
And he also said,
there seems to be
what is missing here is that we should be patient too. That is not a magician. That is going to take a while to get ourselves out of the hole that we have dug for ourselves.
But the thinking out there, Senator Obanikoro, if you would allow me, the thinking out there is, yes, Nigerians were willing to be patient, we're willing to, go as far as you want us to go, but we're not seeing that demonstrated on the part of those in government.
Well,
they're not, showing that they have the capacity or even understand that there's a need for sacrifice. That word, sacrifice in government.
When you say the capacity,
I
was almost going to laugh.
Why so?
If there is a thinker in this country I doubt it if there will be one or two or more that will be better than Asiwaju when it comes to thinking for the good of our people. Now, what you are talking about is reasonable. That what has government done, or when we talk about government now, we are talking about the three arms of government.
Absolutely.
The judiciary, the legislative arm, and the executive arm. What have they done to show empathy in terms of reducing the cost of governance? I totally agree that something should be done in that regard. And I can tell you for free that if Asiwaju is the Asiwaju that I know, is looking at ways, always, don't forget, he's an auditor by background, is looking at ways to reduce cost of governance.
I'm glad you say if Asiwaju is the Asiwaju that you know. Is it possible that the Asiwaju that was governor of Lagos State, not to doubt his capacity, but you'll hear people say, look, Lagos is not Nigeria. Nigeria is not Lagos. That if you thought you could handle Lagos, Nigeria is a whole different kettle of fish.
I do not believe Asiwaju is approaching the situation of our great country as if it's the governor of Lagos State. That's a mistake on the part of anybody who is making that kind of assumption. Let's be honest. This same situation, we faced it in Lagos. The first 6 months or 7 months of our administration in Lagos, we went through hell. At some point, some people almost threw stone at us. But about a year thereabout, everybody was singing Asiwaju, Asiwaju, Asiwaju.
Are you saying Lagos. The first year is a learning?
Almost.
Is a time well,
I'm not saying it's
to learn to understand the gravity of the challenge.
When you inherit a ways and means of 23 trillion, and you inherit subsidy of almost 2-3 trillion, and you are borrowing money to pay salary, that is what he inherited.
From the same administration, from the same party.
Well, from the same party, not the same administration. This is a different administration.
Well, from the same party.
And he has said himself that he wants to own the liability and the asset. But then we must show understanding and just go along with him to see whether he has the capacity to deliver or not. And I am putting it across to you. If you look at, it's a bold step to walk up to the podium and say, I am removing fuel subsidy. I am, you see, and I am going to remove the subsidy on dollars. You see, people underestimate people. Asiwaju was the secretary of market people. Market. He was the secretary writing papers for them. He has a great understanding of our pains, where we need to go and where we are coming from.
But the argument is
this is a very delicate country to rule.
I understand that very much. There's the argument that he could or should have waited on the issue of removing of subsidy.
He should have waited for the country to collapse.
And not announce it on the day of inauguration on May 29 last year. That he could have taken time, looked at the books, know where the largeness.
When you say
otherwise of the problem before announcing
when you say Asiwaju,
that's where we are now.
I take it as an insult to him.
Why?
He may not have the exact amount of naira and kobo in the covers, but before he became president, he knew exactly what the issues are and what are the solutions that we should try to implement to get out of it. But what I think the government needs to do more, communication is very important. I think Nigerians need to know where the government is coming from and where the government is going. You see, with deep understanding of the policies that government intends to implement, I feel quite a number, sincere Nigerians, mind the qualification. Sincere Nigerians will be patient enough to see what he can do within the next 1 to 2 years.
But you do understand that saying that morning shows the day. I mean, would you say that the right foundation is being laid right now for Nigeria to actually take off very well,
That
whether on the
is
economic
precisely-
front? Because what Nigerians are saying is, look, there's discordant tunes even coming from this government itself. On the issue of food, for example, it says, look, we're going to come up with commodity boards. We're going to import food, if that will close the gap on the issue of hunger and all of that. And alas, we hear from another side of government that no such plans and all. That in itself, is it not indicative of the fact that maybe this government is not exactly reading from the same book?
You see, I'm glad you are a Nigerian.
Right. A proud one at that.
Thank you. It's very easy. I am a professor of economics, not because I read economics in school, because of my life experience. There is no business endeavor that you want to mention that I have not tried my hand in this country. Whether it's trading, agriculture, fish production, poultry farming, and everything. I can sit in front of you and take the rest of your time to lecture you on the challenges that I have to overcome to succeed. Not government created, created by Nigerians themselves. Now, on the issue of scarcity of fund, it seems either deliberately or otherwise, and stupidly too, we have dollarized our economy. It's more or less like the currency of our country,
who's to blame for
the
that?
currency
Who's
of our
responsible for that?
Nigerians. The currency of Nigeria today
Is it
more or less.
Is it Nigerians or the Nigerian government, the politicians? I mean, I listened to an analyst the other day who was saying, hold on, please, because we need to maximize this time. Since you touch on that, they're saying if politicians, former politicians, former people in government would bring back all the dollars they've, dipped their hands in the public till to take abroad. That imagine a situation where all of those dollars actually came back into the economy. We may not have the situation that we have on our hands.
Thank you for raising this.
Right.
And I want to take you directly to where the issues are.
Where are they?
I cannot but recall 1997 thereabout, when we had issues with foreign exchange. The military era of that, the military government of that era, were arresting people and bankers to sanitize the foreign exchange regime at that time. I can also recall during the Shagari era, we had the same, almost similar problem that we are facing now. Now, who is the common denominator in all this? The banks. Right. The banks. So what you are always quick to say politicians. No politician can siphon money without the connivance of the banks.
But you agree that politicians are siphoning money?
Right. The word connivance and siphoning is not a Yoruba language. I'm a Yoruba man. It's an English word. So that is to say that there is connivance and siphoning all over the world. But what is lacking in our society is that we do not punish bad behaviors. Those we are supposed to punish, we celebrate them. There is no need for the situation that we found ourselves now. If our bankers are brought to book properly, and the fintechs, what they are even doing now with crypto coins.
So you're saying that the Nigerian banks...
If I describe to you what Nigerians are doing now,
what you're saying
with crypto coins,
right,
and dollar, you'll be shocked, you'll be amazed.
Let me take it from what
and
the
why
point you made.
Are we not doing anything to ameliorate or to stop this situation?
Are you saying for sure that the Nigerian banks are the ones who have brought the Nigerian economy to its knees?
I am telling you, they are more culpable than any other sector of our country. They are. And that's a fact. And there is enough evidence to go around. Look at when we did privatization. Most of the funds used to purchase government properties or investment, who made them available? The banks. Through what? But they didn't create any new money. They were using government money placed with them, it's like monkey they walk, baboon they shop.
And by extension,
And at the end of the day, wait, please.
Because
that monumental sleaze was not punished by anybody as we speak up to today. And if you do crime and you don't do time, it's an encouragement to continue.
It's a good place to leave it. Distinguished Senator Musiliu Obanikoro, former Minister of State Defense and former Ambassador to Ghana, Nigeria's Commissioner to Ghana. Thank you so much. It's been nice having you.
It's indeed a pleasure
to be
with you.
Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so much.